diversity that we moved here for. However, when it comes to my education, we're talking different here, my friend. Different story, different strokes for different folks. Diversity in the community. In the school system, we discussing different. Intelligence. Listen, all the kids can learn. Really. If you give them an opportunity, and listen, there is going to be a few kids who deserve to be in the lower levels. Yes, not all kids' ambition is to be the best student they can be. I don't think anybody is saying that if there is 55% kids of color at Columbia, that 55% of them deserve to be in AP classes, or 55% of them deserve to be in honors classes, or 55% of them deserves to be in level 4. No. There are some kids who deserve to be in the lower levels that they are. That's what's best suited for them. And the school system should be giving them work to help them become better. But at the end of the day, the job of the school system is to give each and every kid an opportunity to succeed. And if you can't do that, then you should get out of that business. Give it to some people or whoever who can get it done. And don't make excuses as to why you can't get it done. So there you have it. South Orange Maplewood School District has a long history of tracking or leveling students. And despite attempt to address the racial disparity and achievement gap that results from this practice, continues to track students with discriminatory effect. Tracking is an organizational feature of the school that sorts students into different classrooms or small groups within classroom on the basis of their perceived ability or previous achievement. Rosalind A. Mickelson writes, in theory, tracking is a meritocratic and technical process that allocates educational resources and opportunities commensurate with students' prior academic achievement, ability, and interest, and with course availability. However, because of the pervasive practice of curricular differentiation, students are sorted into racially correlated educational trajectories soon after they enter school. Consequently, tracking assigns minority students unjustifiably and disproportionately to lower tracks and almost exclude them from the accelerated tracks. It's offered them inferior opportunities to learn and is responsible in part for their lower achievement. You know, I used to be playing the Tim Wise thing over and over and over. And many people said to me, and Sam, why you keep playing that thing over and over and over? I said, have you truly listened to it? The same thing that this young lady is saying is the same thing that Tim Wise has said. If you keep me in the lower tracks, in the 9th grade, I'm in the lower track. In 10th grade, I'm in the lower track. In 11th grade, I'm in the lower track. In the 12th grade, I'm in the lower track. And then I have to go take the SAT. How do you expect me to perform on the SAT? Do you expect me all of a sudden to have an epiphany and score a maximum score on the SAT? Do you really expect that? I'm not being taught to be successful on the SAT. Oh, I can go take outside course. I can take Kaplan. I can take Princeton Review. Yeah. But you know what? Even that is going to be trial and tribulations. Because I don't get that in my schoolwork. So I don't get on my schoolwork. I got to go now to Captain Review, to Princeton, to Huntington Learning Center. And all of a sudden, I got to try to improve my vocabulary overnight. Can it really work? Oh, there might be a few students who it work for. Might be. Might be a few intelligent students. But after keeping me down for all these years, and then you're going to tell me, go take the SAT and try to score high so maybe you could get into an Ivy League school. You know, I like to find this out. Are there any kids who have gone through the lower levels at Columbia High School that actually attended high school after they attended Ivy League school after they graduated? That'd be a good statistic to find out. Were there any kids in the lower levels at Columbia High School? As a matter of fact, forget about Ivy League school. Let's go to the little Ivies. Maybe Amherst. Right? Amherst is considered to be a little Ivy. Right? And the little Ivies. And Amherst is a Division 3 school. Maybe Stanford. Right? Let's see. See what type of schools they're going to. Let's actually do some tracking here. Let's track them. Okay? We have X amount of kids in the lower level. Okay, these kids were all in level 3 or lower all the way through their career at Columbia High School. What colleges did they end up in? Now, the complaint goes on to say, and I think this is significantly important, and I have said this over and over and over. You know, it seemed like if I just had read this complaint it seemed like, I knew about this complaint a long time. This complaint's goal is not to eliminate advanced placement classes at Columbia High School. It is not to eliminate AP classes at Columbia High School. Nobody wants to eliminate AP classes. Really? Nobody wants to do that. Why would you want to do that? There are going to be high achievers in the school that the best thing for them to do is to take AP classes. Because they're just that good. And you need to stimulate them. You need to challenge them. They need challenges. AP class is going to challenge them and make them even better. Yes. Don't eliminate AP classes. That's not what it's about. It's never been about eliminating AP classes. Never. But people always come up with rumors. If they do that, then they're going to eliminate AP. No, they're not. No, they're not. Be honest. They're not. So the complaint goes on to say, rather this complaint seeks to ensure that all students are given access to a challenging and rigorous curriculum. In order to remedy the racial disparities that arise from the current intense leveling in the South Orange Maplewood School District, this complaint seeks to encourage the district to eliminate leveling at the middle school and high school over the course of the next 6 to 10 years. Oh, man. You know what? What's wrong with that? 6 to 10 years. All right, you got a decade to get rid of it. You still got 6 years, a minimum of 6 years, a maximum of 10 years. More than enough time. You know what? The kids that are already in the system, it's unfortunate, but we got to start somewhere. We got to start. We can't continue along the same railroad. We can't. We got to eliminate the track and stop at Columbia High School. No, we need to do that. But 6 to 10 years. That's very reasonable. You got half a decade plus 1 year, and then you have a decade. So it goes on to say, in its place, each student will be placed on the most advanced track with support and services both for these students who will struggle in a fast-paced curriculum and for those gifted students who need additional enrichment. Additionally, training will be provided to teachers to ensure they are equipped to teach students at all levels. AP courses at the high school will remain, but enrollment will be open and students could self-select placement in those classes. This approach has worked in other districts and will remedy the long history of tracking and its segregative effects as described below. You know, these are discussions we have been having ad nauseum in the village when it was just in the village with Anselm. Because I say this and it is so important, because from where I came from to where I am now, it's only because of the education that I received that I was able to go into Seton Hall University and get a bachelor's degree in business, that I was able to go on and get my MBA in finance. And that provided me the opportunity today. If it wasn't for that, where would I have been? As a matter of fact, if back then the SAT was an indication of the type of students that I would have been, I would have never gone to college. I would have never gone to college. So back then, the SAT was not that significant. And as I've said it in the past, my goal was to attend an Ivy League school. That was my goal. And I absolutely was sure I was going to get into Brown University. Positively. Graduated fourth in my class out of Boys and Girls High School. So I said it was no problem. But part of the problem was my SAT score. Because I was not prepared to take the SAT. If I was only prepared to take that SAT, I would have been the graduate of an Ivy League school. The first one in my family to graduate from college. And as a matter of fact, to graduate from an Ivy League school. The day I got the rejection letter from Brown University, I cried. As a matter of fact, the coach from Brown University called me and told me. Said, Anselm, they're not going to accept you at Brown University. It wasn't just myself. It was another guy who we went to Seton Hall together. He was from Jefferson High School in Brooklyn. Derek Pinedo. Both of us. We want to go to Brown University. I was all gold. He's from Jamaica. I'm from Trinidad. At that point, I didn't read the book, The Magic of Thinking Big as yet. But I guess I always thought big. Figuring that, hey, listen, shoot for the stars, man. Some people say, why shoot for the stars when you could land on the moon? Well, I shoot for the moon. Bypass the stars. Well, actually, literally, I ended up with moon. I ended up with my coach, John Moon. So I shoot for the stars, and I actually did get to the moon. But I ended up with John Moon. So here it is. This complaint basically spelling out all of the things, many of the things that I've spoken about in the past, right here in the village with Anselm on the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience. We have had this discussion. And now comes the ACLU and UCLA to tell the school district, enough is enough. You cannot continue along this path where you have a segregated system that's unfair and unequal. You have to change.